This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for April 17, 2023, double murders rock Manchester and the St. James communities. The nation was rocked on Sunday morning by news of two double murders in parishes Manchester and St. James, which also left several injured. The first occurred when two revelers at a party in Dumfries, St. James, were gunned down by ramaging gunmen who sprayed bullets on the venue during the wee hours of Sunday morning, even as the St. James police are pulling out all the stops to curb crime in the parish. The deceased have been identified as a 31-year-old unemployed male, Adolphus Holder, also called the Gold Ball of Pengate, Dumfries in St. James, and a 22-year-old Giovanni Gordon, also unemployed of Johnson Hill Saltmarsh in Trelawney. According to the police, Holder and Gordon were among patrons at a party when they were approached by unknown assailants who opened gunfire that sent patrons scampering in all directions. When the shooting subsided, Holder was discovered lying on the ground on his back in a pool of blood, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Gordon, who had been shot in the neck, was transported to the Falmouth Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. A highly placed police source close to the investigation revealed that Holder appeared to have been the target of the attack. When the news visited the Falmouth Hospital Sunday morning, a man who was among a group of mourners and who introduced himself as Gordon's friend claimed that while they were at the venue, a barrage of gunshots were heard not long after Gordon stopped to talk to another patron. He said he took cover until after the shooting stopped. Subsequently, calls to Gordon's phone went unanswered, he said. The bereaved man told the news that he eventually found out that his friend was shot and rushed to the hospital. The double murder comes sharply on the heels of two murders reported in the Anchovy section of St. James between Thursday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. On Saturday, 44-year-old Orlando Jarrett of a Roehampton St. James address was shot and killed and another man injured during an attack in close proximity to a church in Anchovy. According to reports from the Corporate Communications Unit, the official communication arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, about 3:45 a.m., Jarrett and another man were traveling in a motorcar along the Long Lane Main Road in Anchovy when they stopped to make a purchase. They were reportedly pounced upon and shot by men who alighted a vehicle that drove up. On Thursday, about 5:30 p.m., 42-year-old construction worker and farmer Valro Scott, also called Eagles or Jenna of Anchovy Meadows, Anchovy, St. James, was shot by unknown assailants as he rode his bicycle on the Anchovy Main Road. The police were called to the scene, and upon their arrival, Scott was seen lying on his back in a pool of blood, with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his head, chest, and the left foot, his feet entwined around a green and black bicycle. He was taken to Conroe Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, Sunday morning also saw chaotic scenes in the community of Finegrass near Shudley, Manchester, as a gunman opened fire on patrons at a bar, killing two men and wounding two others, days after another man had been killed there. A relative identified one of the deceased as Stenny Hutchinson, otherwise called the Dippy or Deportee, a tractor operator. A senior police source told the news that investigators believe Hutchinson was the intended target of the attack. Both dead men are from Trelawney, but one lived in the area of Finegrass. He relocated there, said the source. Up to press time on Sunday, investigators were trying to determine a motive for the incident. Reports are that mid-morning on Sunday, a gunman walked into the bar located along the Shudley to Christiana Main Road and opened fire on a group of men. Hutchinson collapsed at the entrance of the bar, while the second, the victim who was shot in the head, was found on the floor inside the bar. Two other men who sustained the gunshot wounds ran from the bar. One of the men, when he got shot, tried to drive away and crashed, while a car transporting the other injured man also crashed, said the police source. The deportee, we believe, was the intended target, added the source. A relative of Hutchinson, who asked not to be named, told the news that the incident was shocking. One gunman came in and the bartender thought it was a gun salute to the song that was playing. By the time she turned around, she saw that this man was on the ground and another one out front and the driver in the car, said the relative, who arrived on the scene shortly after the shooting. He expressed a concern about the spate of murders in the Shudley area. The crime factor in Jamaica has gone way out of control. Right around the corner was another killing just days ago, where that man was shot in the eye and head, he said in reference to the April 10 murder of a man in Shudley housing scheme. Anthony Williams, 51, a farmer and a resident of Shudley housing scheme, was shot dead on April 10. A police report said that about 11:30 p.m., Williams was walking home in the scheme when he was pounced on by gunmen who opened fire, hitting him. A suspect was arrested on Saturday in relation to his murder. The gun violence is very prevalent on the island, said Hutchinson's grief-stricken relative. Hutchinson did a little farming. If he is involved in anything, I wouldn't know. This is very sad. He operated a backhoe, added the relative. He is calling for a revamp of the police force. It is very sad to see how the crime rate has turned up in the country, and the police force, to me, needs a reviving with regards to crime. A perimeter should have been set up by the Homewood Gate. If they did it, probably would have given a better effect than to be here unraveling yellow tape, said the relative. Taxi operator killed in toll gate. A taxi operator was gunned down in tollgate Clarendon on Sunday morning. He has been identified as Miguel Thomas of a McGill Crispam address in the parish. It is reported that about 10:50 a.m., Thomas had just finished washing his car when he was pounced upon by a lone gunman. The gunman opened fire, hitting him in the head and upper body. Thomas died on the spot. Teen charged for murder of mentally challenged man in Seaview Gardens. A 19-year-old was charged on Thursday with the murder of a man said to be of unsound mind on Floriacy Pathway in Seaview Gardens, St. Andrew. The man, who was shot and killed on Thursday, April 6, has been identified as 26-year-old Gregory Smith, otherwise called Greg, who is from Yellow Sea Drive in the community. Charged with Smith's murder is Rohan Davis, otherwise called the Dragon, a student also of a Seaview Gardens address. Residents had reported that Smith was killed near Black Sea Drive. They say men from that area are in conflict with those from Yellow Sea Drive where he lived. The residents surmised that Smith, being mentally challenged, strayed and was killed. It was reported that around 8:25 a.m., Smith was sitting along the pathway when a gunman on foot pounced and opened fire, hitting him in the head. The man escaped from the area. The police who were summoned found the body lying on the ground. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. Police said 6 spent casings were found at the scene. Deputy Superintendent of Police in charge of operations in the St. Andrew South Division, Coleridge Minto, called on residents to come forth with information on other incidents to help investigators within the division make strong court cases. We want to appeal to persons who may have seen or witnessed any other incident to share information with the police. Our detectives in the St. Andrew South Division are very relentless in pursuing and ensuring that they gather all the information to form proper case files so that we can have convictions in our court, DSP Minto said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.